Professionals spend nearly half the work week on written communication, so focus is important. With Grammarly as your AI writing partner, focus and quickly get through work with relevant real-time suggestions. And it works across 500,000 apps and websites, so you can sound more confident and persuasive wherever you write. 93% of professionals report that Grammarly helps them get more work done. Download Grammarly for free at grammarly.com/podcast. That's grammarly.com/podcast. Running an online business requires passion, knowledge, and a lot of dedication. Adding the complexities of setting up and managing hosting for your website piles on more work when you already have so many plates spinning. Whether you manage one WordPress website or dozens, Kinsta's managed solutions give you access to a platform that's optimized for the fastest speed, has enterprise-grade security features, and is powered by an intuitive custom dashboard with everything you need to manage your sites efficiently. Plus, Kinsta provides human-only WordPress expert support, which is available 24/7, 365 to assist with even the most complex sites. Forget frustrating AI chatbots. Kinsta gives you complete peace of mind by ensuring that your WordPress sites are always online, secure, and performing at their best. Start your journey with Kinsta today and get your first month free. Don't have time to migrate your site? Kinsta takes care of everything for you. Learn more at kinsta.com/podcast. That's KINSTA.com/podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Beautifully Broken podcast. Today, we sit down with Jimmy Martin from the Brrrn Board. Brrrn is this beautiful Tesla-like slide board made out of beautiful, glowing, reflective resin that I have in my home. I slide back and forth on it. And what I do is I work all the stabilizer muscles in my medial glutes, my glutes, the pelvic floor. It's an incredible workout, but more importantly, it solves the problem of lateral movement and moving on the sagittal plane. This podcast was driven off a fact that I saw from Peter Attia that falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among adults 65 and older. When I dug into the figure, that rate has increased 41% from 2012 to 2021. And because I have parents that are aging and I'm concerned about their movement, this is a podcast that is very important to me. The Brrrn Board that Jimmy produces is available in our store. It's very affordable. It's easy to use. And strength, versatility, and lateral movement is amplified by using this product. It's simple. It's a solution for you and your family. So jump on in. We're short. We're to the point. But this is a very important episode. I love you so much, team. Bye.
Welcome to the Beautifully Broken podcast. I'm your host, Freddie Kimmel, and on this show we explore the survivor's journey, practitioners making a difference, and the therapeutic treatments and transformational technology that allow the body to heal itself. Witness the inspiration we gain by navigating the human experience with grace, humility, and a healthy dose of mistakes. Because part of being human is being beautifully broken.
Ladies and gentlemen, biologicalmedicine.org. Don't go there yet. I have a question for you. Are you tired of standing around in this deep knowing that our healthcare system is broken, but we never do anything about it? Well, Biological Medicine for Practitioners is the ultimate hybrid online and in-person certification course designed to help you integrate biological medicine or biomed into your practice. So, unlike traditional medicine that often focuses on treating symptoms, biomed treats the whole body, addressing root cause of illness through 3 pillars, that is detoxification and drainage, nutrition, and immune building. This approach is truly patient-centered and yields exceptional results. So in this comprehensive course, you will apply foundational knowledge and hands-on experience with the latest diagnostic technologies and therapies, including bioelectrical impedance analysis, heart rate variability testing, pulse electromagnetic field. I know this sounds like it was created just for Freddie, but this is your chance to become a pioneer in the field of biomed. This is for healthcare and wellness professionals, all the way from doctors to personal trainers. I want you to go to biologicalmedicine.org and look for the Enroll Now button. And if you use code Beautifully Broken, you will receive the Intro to Biological Medicine for free. That's a $200 value. Friends, let's go do this. This is our time to seize the day. Join the Biomed and help create a real paradigm shift and the way we deliver results for our patients. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Beautifully Broken podcast. I'm here with the buttery sounds of Jimmy T. Martin. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
You are the first person to ever say buttery sounds, and I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate your microphone quality, but more importantly, what I appreciate is your knowledge and body of work around slide boards and lateral movement. Jimmy, when I was at the gym this morning, I'm looking at everybody do their workouts, and I'm thinking, not one person in this whole space is moving laterally. What's going on?
Freddie, that's something that chaps my ass, as my close friends say. And I don't blame them, man, because 100% of the popular cardio-focused pieces of equipment is sagittal plane. It's north to south movements. It's rowing, it's running, it's cycling. But the body's meant to move in all directions. And if you're trying to have a well-balanced routine, that should include not just sagittal movements, north to south, but also transverse movements, which are rotational. And the topic of this conversation, lateral movements in the frontal plane, the side to side, the east to west movements. And because there's a dearth of exercises, specifically cardio respiratory equipment, that are lateral plane focused, and people aren't training laterally, we are seeing an abundance of muscular imbalances and chronic injuries to people's hips, their knees, their lower back, and it's causing people not to feel and move their best. And it is my mission to get people to look forward to lateral moves. So I'm glad you're seeing what I see.
I do. It's only because I had got the slide board and I've been doing the classes from Brrrn, which is an online, is it a click and mortar company?
You are speaking my language again. I'm glad that you're using that phrase, click and mortar. Whether it's the roof over your own head at home or it's under a gym's, we meet you where you're at.
So before we jump in, can you just explain the offering of Brrrn? Because I posted it on my social media. I have the slide board sitting outside. I've just did a fire or a burn video of like some of the glute muscles that I've developed from using the slide board.
Oh, yeah,
but I want you to reference what it is and why people would do it.
Yeah. So in terms of like our company, right? We started as a brick and mortar company that was the world's first and only cool temperature fitness experience where we exercised in 50 degrees for 50 minutes. Began that conversation way before cold was cool. One of the workouts that we were doing in the space was our slide board class, which I knew about, slide boards I knew about them since the 90s, but I also did it as a former Division I athlete for, all year round training. And it was really important for me and my co-founder, Johnny, to have a workout that gave you goosebumps, in a different way while you were inside of our fridge. And that slide board class, as you know, as a regular participant, was one of our most popular, always packed. And when the pandemic happened and we were forced to close in New York City, we had no choice but to literally make a lateral move as a company and pivot and deliver this at-home workout experience with videos and our slide board that we had over 23,000 people on while we had our studio. So as it stands right now, we have free workouts on YouTube. We have this 6-foot adjustable slide board that looks like a yoga mat but reflective like a mirror that you put booties over your sneakers or over your socks and you slide side to side, or you do abdominal work, or you do upper body work, or you do any work from head to toe in order to feel and move your best.
Yeah. What I've noticed is that the workout, it's extremely low impact. And at the same time, if I want to give you just a comparison, like if I were to sit on a bike and pedal at a gym versus doing, let's say I'm 5 minutes there, 5 minutes on the slide board, sliding, I mean, sweat dripping off your face, your lungs are working. It's a total game changer of cardio. And there's a level of joy that inhibits the workout every single time because You're sliding. Sliding is inherently fun.
It's fun. Yeah,
It's
100%.
fun.
You hit the nail on the head. You break a sweat and a smile at the same time. And I think that's really hard to find with most traditional pieces of fitness equipment. You're almost like belaboring through a workout because you know that you need to do it, where there's a joy in sort of moving in a different way. The human experience is very forward and backwards. We're always going forward towards something. So to be able to enjoy a different plane of motion with a workout experience that's fun and makes you feel like you did 60 minutes of cardio in only 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, it's a win-win for me. And we joke and say it's like the gym that fits onto your couch. You can put it away if you don't want to see it. It doesn't have to permanently live anywhere. And you're getting like a rehabilitative type of a workout that's also incredible low impact core and cardio fitness experience. So my goal, Freddie, is not only to have a board in as many houses in the US and beyond, so that people can supplement this into the whatever routine they already do at home or in person, but also to have a board in every single gym and boutique fitness studio in the country, because we know as health and fitness professionals the value of being able to constantly move your body in different ways, stimulate and prime yourself in different ways so that you're prepared for no matter what comes your way in life.
I would love to see these, and because they are such space savers, they can be hung up on a wall. I would love to see these in a Broadway theater and have people train 5 to 10 minutes before they went out and did an event, because it's incredibly activating to the stabilizers. I've noticed, like from history with different surgeries and Lyme, that I work around knee pain.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always notice that I have better mobility in the capsule, and because I mobilize the ankle, working through the ankle on the slides, that I walk better all day. I just move with less pain immediately when I get off the board. I don't mean like, after 90 days. I mean immediately after each workout, me moving throughout the day, I have less pain every single time I do it. And so it's a great reset for me. And I'm imagining it has to do with all the sitting I do at a desk and 45 years of just moving back and forth. I don't want a tangent on this very precise episode, but I will say there is something energetically about the loop that we get in as human beings in ladder climbing. I'm forward onto, there's a perception that in front of me exists something which I don't have yet that is going to bring me back joy. And there's something really cool. In the morning, I'll put on my Alan Watts. He'll talk about existentialism and all these cool ideas about what life is, and I'm going lateral. And that's my stack, man. And I love it. I love it.
I love it. That brings me so much joy for you to say that. I was talking to one of our close friends who was, has been the lead in Hamilton for quite some time. And I'm trying to figure out a way to get into those houses because, as a former thespian myself, I just seen the demands that these Broadway actors have to go through, 8 shows a week, it's a lot on the body. So if they can feel assured in their movement, their performance both on and off stage is going to be better. And going on to the lateral thing, Dr. Andrew Human talked about lateral eye movement. You can't help but to have your eyes move side to side while you are moving side to side. And lateral based thinking, I mean, that's where all the vibrancy of decisions come from being able to think outside the box. So for moving our body the same way that we want our mind to move, to be able to show up better than the day before, I think that we need to look forward to lateral moves, whether it be how we move or how we think. So it's just like trying to auto correct just a lot of the foibles of our past, and as innovators to be able to confidently stand tall and improve the systems of our predecessors for the benefit of all.
Yeah, let's branch off that a little bit. Just the thing that you mentioned about our friend in Hamilton, our friend Greg, we talk about everybody can visualize the idea that you're going to go into a play and you're going to tell the same story 8 shows a week. You are going through a mapped out pattern of movements, many of which are moving up and down the stage, and you're going to develop, I'm going to sound really intelligent here, compensatory patterns within the body to be able to tell that story. So injuries are wrought with a performer. Now, I want everybody to just close your eyes and I want you to think about your day. And I guarantee many of us tell the same story every day. We have our things that we do, our jobs that we engage in. You pick up the kids to school. You sit down in your car. You imagine driving to and from work. You imagine taking the trash to and from the street. A lot of it is on that plane, and we get stuck in our stories. And because of that, it's hard to have outside of the box thinking. So talk to me a little bit about the musculature that is involved in some of this lateral movement with the slide board.
Permission to open my eyes. I enjoy them closed per your
Go ahead.
cue.
I also
Okay.
thought maybe me developing a guided meditation for the slide board could be fun.
Oh.
Because it's a free skate with Freddie.
Freaky Freddy could be a fun Friday thing that we do. I mean, look, your glutes don't lie. And I'm so happy to see, one, the incredible response that you had on social media from that post. But I'm down to do anything to work with you. You're an inimitable force to be reckoned with.
Dude, I'm going to name the things. I've said this on other podcasts that I have some expensive tools in the house, anywhere from some things are like $35,000.
Oh, yeah.
What does the slide board cost? The big slide board?
Yeah. If you were to pay it in all one clip, it's $399. But we have a lot of people that pay over time, that pay anywhere from $35 a month to pay it off in a year's time. I mean, it's incredible. And the workouts are free. We're slowly transitioning off of our subscription platform to make it more accessible to people all throughout the world. So we'll be officially, you're actually the first that we're saying this to, but we'll be on YouTube in come September. So that's really exciting. And you'll be able to stream effortlessly to your Roku, to whatever, to see it on your phone. Again, we're the only platform that's really taken the time to really make an effort to deliver quality workouts that really meet any body where they're at. And so I'm really excited about that.
That's incredible news.
But to answer your question about what body parts are affected. So the one thing that, again, if you're a certified trainer, a health and wellness professional, you know about the lateral subsystem. And the lateral subsystem is a group of muscles that work together to provide support and stabilization in the frontal plane, the sort of east to west movements. These muscles include your gluteus medius, your tensor fascia latae, which sounds like something you would order on Starbucks menu, your adductor complex, ab and adductors, your quadratus lumborum. And all these muscles do, high level, is they provide stabilization, again, during these east to west frontal plane movements. Now, the problem that we're noticing, especially with just the, again, historic pitfalls of the fitness industry of only caring about north to south movements, sagittal plane movements, is that people develop excessive pronation of their hips, their knees, their feet, which is often indicative of dysfunction in the lateral subsystem, of like the underutilization of these muscle groups in this subsystem. And without the support of these muscles working together, our pelvis can become misaligned. And this can lead to lower back pain, hip pain, knee pain. And, we also carry a lot of trauma and stress in our back and our hips. So there's, going back to the joy of this movement, I feel like we're releasing this tension, this trauma, because of embracing this new type of movement, while also giving these supporting characters, a sort of headliner, sort of, we're kind of giving them the spotlight, whereas they're usually either not getting a line in the show or not being able to go on stage at all. So we're kind of giving these supporting characters, center stage with this type of movement.
For the people at home that don't know the physiology of the body, like you or I, when you say excessive pronation of the hips or knees, what does that mean to the person listening to this and not understanding the body in that way?
Yeah. So just high level, if you can imagine your hips being even because you're doing well-rounded workouts that are hitting all three planes of motion, by only doing north to south movements, by only sitting on a bike and rowing and running and not really doing anything else that's in other planes of motion, which there's three: transverse, frontal, and sagittal. Sagittal is what I'm talking about. The hips being misaligned, like one hip being higher than the other, and thinking about what muscles have to compensate for that structural change in your skeletal system. Having your erector spinae having to be, being tighter on one side because one part of the body is more concentrically is stiff because it's condensed versus the other one being elongated. So it creates an absence of symmetry with the muscle groups. And as a result of that, certain muscle groups are being underutilized and overutilized to compensate for these structural imbalances. So my whole thing is, because there's an absence of focus in the modern fitness industry with lateral movement training, by adding this to your weekly routine, you're creating balance. The way that I think about fitness now is not just necessarily intensity and frequency. It's about, I go, 30,000 feet above and think about, am I moving in all three planes of motion? Am I getting my sagittal plane work in with certain exercises? Am I working on frontal plane movements? Am I working on rotational movements? I think that way now. I don't just think about, am I getting, anaerobic and aerobic, cardiorespiratory training in? Am I getting strength training in? Am I getting my mobility work in? I go above that and think about, am I training in all three planes of motion? And most people aren't. And that's why we're trying to change that conversation.
Yeah, well, the classes speak for themselves. I'm amazed and surprised that these are going to be on YouTube for free. That's absolutely incredible, because I've seen the quality of the class, and I've done some of those classes, and the instructors and the music and the vibe and the comedy and the lighthearted nature in which the education is delivered at this elite level is an incredible value add. The idea that this is a $399 biohack is, the value there is silly. I always text this people. I was like, buy it. Don't ask me, just get this thing. Because if you look at something like, oh my goodness, let's talk about Peloton. I mean, I love a good bike race, and that is a very expensive piece of equipment, which in some ways, it's going to be limited for you. I mean, you get the cardio, you get the mobility, you get different planes of movement, and it's not just sliding. There's an incredible ways to use this for lunges, squats, ab workouts, upper body. It's really beautiful how you guys have incorporated the training using all, not only left to right, but both vertical and the lower layers of the workout system here.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, some of our, call them neighbors in the industry, some like Peloton and the ones that you mentioned, that movement, especially born out of the pandemic, it was really like a lot of these options were available for the group that I call the healthy wealthy, that didn't think twice about dropping a few grand on their health and wellness. And I think that the pandemic showed us that there's other options out there, whether you want to do a workout on Zoom with friends, or you get creative with, gallons of water as your dumbbells. I'm always mindful about meeting people where their wallet's at, and understand that, if you need to bootstrap stuff because of, price sensitivities, I get that. But what I don't like is when brands tell you have to do this thing in this place only with us. That's where I have a problem. I'm all about people having a well-rounded approach to their fitness, not just with how they move, but the types of exercises they do that are hosted by various brands. And knowing that this movement brings people so much joy because it's a new movement, and knowing that it is like rehabilitation and a great workout all in one, that you're actually using this as a longevity tool, not just a workout, piece of equipment, is the reason to invest in this. And to know that whether you're a parent with kids and your kids need something to kind of exhaust themselves. I mean, Freddie, it's so fun to watch, kids of all ages hop on a board and just like, are they mad when they have to leave it? It's like, time to go to school. All right, it's time for dinner. They're like, no, I want to get a few more minutes in. It's wild. And I love it because it's, again, going back to that joy, there's a playfulness to this movement once you find your flow. But I'm happy that all these brands exist because we're the only ones that do this way, and really had taken the time to understanding the long-term ramifications of not having another option to move in, beyond the sagittal planes.
The only thing people need to do is they need to look at the level. And now listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to also say there are co-founding factors to the increased number in joint replacements across the US right now. So I'm having friends in their 30s and 40s, complete knee replacement, complete hip replacement. These factors are amplified from the lack of diversity we get in our movement. Anytime you have a professional athlete, obviously they're going to be pushing their body beyond the norm. But for our 9-to-5ers, it is imperative. This is one of the most important things you can do. And I had you on, I'm like, because in full transparency, we recorded a podcast where we waxed intellectual about life, which we will do again.
We will do that.
But we touched on lateral movement. And I was like, this is such a blind spot for people, and it's such a low barrier to entry. It deserves its own 20-minute episode in which I'm going to sit here and be your hype man and say, there's a lot of things I'm doing in my life to complement health. The slide board is really easy. It's really affordable. Everybody can access this because you guys do have a pretty crazy payment plan. Yeah, like you said, $35 a month, and then it's paid off very, very shortly. And it's effective at alleviating pain and building the muscles that you're going to need to stabilize. If you look at the work of Peter Attia says for longevity, the things you need to protect yourself against, obviously heart disease and how your body is optimizing respiration and breathing. And then there is the fall. And you need to be sure that you have the grip strength to brace yourself, and you need mobility and hip strength and rotation in that hip to mitigate a fall. When you fall, I wish I had the stat pulled up in front of me. Over this age, the instance of death is scary.
Very high. I was trying to remember that number. I believe it's well over 70 or 80%, Freddie, because my co-founder, Johnny, is a former public health official. He was in New York City. And I remember we were talking about this, but it is very scary how high of a probability of death is following first fall. And I wanted to say, Freddie, some of the high level reasons to get on board or with lateral movement training is, like I said, first and foremost, your ability to engage your lower body, core, upper body, like continuously, not just with sliding, but just with, again, it being a head to toe exercise. Mm-hmm. It's low impact and incredibly accessible for, again, I say it's multi-directional and multi-generational. So it's joint friendly, accessible for a variety of ages, whether it's, kids to the active aging population, which, to your point, being able to improve balance, coordination, and proprioception is so important for our seniors and above because of the high chances of them being a fall risk. In terms of just like the higher intensity, and sort of like the fitness enthusiast buzzy, benefits, you can burn up, there's research that talked about you can burn up to 500 calories in 30 minutes with sliding, that it actually has the energy, the energy cost of sliding is around 7 to 10 METs, which that's around the equivalent of jogging, shoveling snow, or climbing the stairs. Isn't that crazy? Just sliding. So,
that's amazing.
And not to mention,
you feel it when you get on the board.
Oh,
you understand that it's a different level of work that your body has never known unless you're a professional skater.
100%. And this is beloved by, scholastic all the way to Olympic athletes. I mean, Apollo Ono is one of our investors and, brand advisors. As your audience knows, you were incredibly privileged to interview him in front of hundreds of people. It was insane being there and bearing witness to your greatness. Interviewing him, I was so happy to be there in Jackson Hole with you. But he just talks about how he's been using them since he was 12, and it was a no-brainer for him, to help us scale our influence, to people of all ages and capabilities across the country.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, Jimmy, I'm going to let people go. There's a discount code on the board with code Beautifully Broken. Does that still exist?
Still exists, Freddie. Yep.
Great. That's great. We will do a roundup. As I said, it's so fun to talk and chat and wax intellectual with you. And we'll do a free for all, but I just thought the lateral movement, especially after I was joking around, I made this video and everybody kept saying, they're like, dude, your butt looks really big. I was like, it's a slide board. It's not squatting, because I've squatted and lunged forever. Mm-hmm. But it was just one of those things where there was like all these comments are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, it's this board. So.
And didn't Apple consult with you about, in terms, they created the peach emoji off of you, right? That's what you were saying before? Yeah. Okay. Just double checking if that was true.
Yeah. It's not publicly known that was accredited to me. And
yeah. Well, there you go.
I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it.
Yes, exactly. Well, look, if people want to see what this looks like, at Brrrn on Instagram, type in Brrrn on YouTube, check out our videos, learn about the brand, see what we're all about. And again, to get a wonderful discount off of your purchase, Beautifully Broken at checkout.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy T. Martin will link all your details in the comments. I think I mentioned this. Jimmy, I think you were episode 4
I
or
was
something. And
one of the early ones, man. Privileged to
one
have
of the
been
early ones. If anybody wants Jimmy's incredible backstory about the original Brrrn location and why Jimmy is involved in health and wellness and why he's so passionate, it is episode number 4, February 21, Jimmy, 2019. Jimmy T. Martin, cold, cryo, and cancer. We go into some other deep personal stories that live within your still unfolding story. And I think people should listen to that. It was, episode near and dear to my heart. Still one of my favorites. And we're going to have you on for more. And I deeply appreciate your time and your knowledge and the value you bring to the world. Keep going, buddy.
Thanks, Freddie. Likewise.
Love ya.
Love you, buddy.
Team, thank you for being you. Thanks for taking a break from this episode, which is amazing. I need to give a shout out to everybody who continues to listen and support. We have been working so hard to bring you products that really work, like Silver Biotics. Silver Biotics uses silver sol technology to give the immune system a boost. When you take it, your body releases chemical markers that signal your immune system that there's a threat, and the body kicks into high gear to defend itself. So the best part is, silver technology works with the natural system in the body, making it safe and an effective way to target invaders without all the nasty side effects of traditional medicine. There's over 60 patents and patents pending, and Silver Sol has sold over 30 million units, and there's no documented adverse reactions. The company is pretty darn proud of that. So think wound care, dietary supplements, cosmetics. They are biohacking the body with a mindfully enhanced supplement. So you can upgrade your oral hygiene with their toothpaste or their cosmetic line you can apply to the skin, or the new nasal mist for everybody out there struggling with kids that just come back sick every single week from school. Jump over to their site, use code BeautifullyBroken in the checkout for a generous 30% discount on all the products.
Ladies and gentlemen, you and I are moving on a 4-year relationship. That's got to be some kind of a record. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, head over to Apple or Spotify and please give us a review. I know how busy you are. I know you got a list of things to do that's a mile long, but it makes more people across the world hear this mission. And one more ask. Before you go, there's a way that you and I can continue learning. There's a way that you and I can continue to deepen the relationship that started in this episode. You could visit beautifully.broken.world and you can check out our brand new website and store. Listed are all the wellness tools, the supplements, the articles backed by scientific protocols to move forward into wellness, the products that I am using and I personally love. Most of them offer a significant discount by clicking the link or using the code. And the beautiful part, they don't cost you anything extra, and at the same time, they do support the show. Now, we have another new feature alert. I don't want to overwhelm you, but if you want to see the beautiful faces of our guests, if you want to watch me unbox and review products, head over to our brand new YouTube channel, Beautifully Broken World. This last message is from my vast team of internet lawyers. The information on this podcast is for educational purposes only. By listening, you agree not to use the information found here as medical advice to treat any medical condition in yourself or others. Always consult your own physician for any medical issues that you might be having. Our closing: the world is shifting. We need you at your very best. So take the steps today to always be upgrading. Remember, while life is pain, putting the fractured pieces back together is a beautiful process. I love ya. I'm your host, Freddie Kimmel.
Your time and expertise are valuable, making focus one of the most important resources to have at work. These days, professionals spend nearly half the work week on written communication, and it can be difficult to stay on task with all the emails and documents you have to get through. With Grammarly as your AI writing partner, you can stay focused and quickly get through your work with relevant real-time suggestions wherever you write. It works across 500,000 apps and websites, so it can help with everything from brainstorming presentation ideas to sounding more confident and persuasive in emails and reports. For 15 years, Grammarly has offered best-in-class communication support and enterprise-grade security on a business model that doesn't sell your data. 93% of professionals report that Grammarly helps them get more work done. Download Grammarly for free at grammarly.com/podcast. That's GRAMMARLY.com/podcast. Running an online business is hard enough without the stress and time consumption of managing hosting. Whether managing one WordPress site or dozens, Kinsta's managed solutions offer speed, enterprise-grade security, and an intuitive dashboard. With 24/7, 365 human-only expert support, get peace of mind that your sites stay online, secure, and performing their best. Start today and get your first month free with migrations handled for you. Learn more at kinsta.com/podcast. That's KINSTA.com/podcast.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.